Greetings friends and welcome to the Flight Ability Guide. In this video I'm going to show you how to fly Superman / Peter Pan styles. So if you're ready to do that, let's get stuck in. Oooooh! Okay friends, so here we are with our blank basic puppet. Nothing has gone into this guy, it's just a normal dude. You can use whatever character you'd like for this. We're going to go into their logic and we're going to just put that over here for now. So friends, what is the first step to flying? Well, the first step is not falling. What we're going to do in order to make our puppet not fall when they jump off a particular ledge or whatever it might be, is to dampen their movement on the y-axis. So we're going to go Gadgets, Move as an Output, and then we're going to go Advanced Mover. Now, when I click on the Advanced Mover, you're going to see X, Z, and Y. So in this particular instance, X is going to be forwards and backward movement, Z is going to be left and right movement, and Y is up and down movement. Kind of think of like a graph, you know what I mean? So of course if we're doing a 2D sort of game, then Y is up and down as before, but X is left and right or forwards and back. It really depends on your perspective. But Y is what we're caring about at the moment, because this is whether we're jumping or falling, that sort of a thing. So in order to make it so that we don't move on the y-axis, in other words, we sort of stay in one position, we're going to want to dampen movement in the y-axis. And we're going to do this by going to the Advanced Mover, L1 and square, so go into the Tweak menu. And here we've got Damp in Y. So what we're going to do is we're going to make Damp in Y 100%. And I'm just going to do a little bit of a demonstration of what this does. This makes it so that we can't move in the y-axis. So as you can see, I'm actually gliding around a bit, and the reason that's happening is because I actually need to set the Advanced Mover, all these speeds to 0. And now let's try again. Now I'm in the y-axis, but as you can see, I'm not falling. Similarly, if I try and jump, it kind of immediately stops me because Y movement is being dampened. I can still move, you know, forwards and to the side and all these sorts of things, but I can't move up and down. At the moment it looks like I'm kind of walking on air, which is actually also a pretty cool effect. And if you want that in your game, you've pretty much got it sorted already. Woohoo! Yay! Having a great time. But we want our flight to look a little bit more impressive. So what we're going to do, friends, is we're going to go into Gadgets, and we're going to put down a counter. We're going to connect this counter to the X button, and we're going to make the max value 2. So what's happening is when we press X twice, of course the first time we press it we're going to jump, but then we want to make it so that when we press X a second time, we're then going to start flying. So when X has been pressed twice, in other words the counter is full, then we're going to want to activate our damping in Y. So let's check how it works. So I press it once, and again, woohoo! Now I'm flying. Skoo. That looks pretty good so far. But now I want to make it so that if I press circle, first I'm actually just going to delete the depossess connection, because there's a depossess connection here. Going to go back into the controller and connect circle and make it go minus. So now it'll take us back to 1, which is essentially the same as not flying just yet. So now I can go woohoo, and if I press circle, whoa, woohoo, if I press X again, I'm flying again. If I press circle, whoa, X again, whoa, as you can see, we're still flying. Whoa. Very lovely. But now I want to make it so that if I'm like landing on the ground, I want to reset this count. Because at the moment, if I jump and I press X again, it's going to make us fly. And that's not what we want. We want it to be so that you actually have to jump first. So in other words, in order to get that to work, we'll go Puppet Interface, we'll go Outputs, the first page of Outputs, and we'll go On Ground. And if you're on ground, it's going to reset the count. So now if I jump, that's cool. If I jump again, that's cool. If I jump twice though, woo, we're now flying. Ooh, yeah, yeah. That's fabulous. But now, friends, I actually want to make it so that when we're flying, we kind of look like we're flying as well. So what we'll do for that is we'll add in a little keyframe. And before I do anything, I'm just going to name this our fly pose. Okay, cool, that looks nice. We're going to connect it to counter full. And now we're going to go into this keyframe and change our position so that it looks like we're flying. Oh yeah, yeah. You might want to put on puppet mirror so that your puppet stays fairly sort of aligned. You can get a nice sort of plane vibe going. Shwing. Get your character flying. Get those legs up in the air. Woo! Nice Superman vibes. You could even do, if you wanted to be like Superman vibes, you could be like, whoa, put one arm out, or, you know, that sort of a thing. But I think I'll go with the eagle arms. Lovely stuff. Very nice. Okay, cool. So now let's see how funny this looks. So at the moment it looks very funny, and the reason is because, you see, if I don't touch anything, it'll go to this position. That looks cool. The reason that this looks funny is because we've actually got to get rid of the old running strength, because this is going to put us in our running pose. But you don't want to delete the connection outright. You still want it to work when you're not flying. So what we're going to do for that is we'll go to gadgets, then we'll go and get ourselves a node with the 2 arrows. We'll put that down, go to its tweak menu, set it to a no port node, just so that we don't have any extra wires sticking out. We'll connect running strength here, and the output here. We'll delete this original connection. So now this has to go through this node before it works. And normally it'll be on, but when we're flying, then we're going to want to turn it off. Now it's not going to be messing with us as much. There'll still be some procedural animation, woohoo! But as you can see, it's a little bit better. And having some procedural animation on is actually not too bad, because like it still looks kind of cool as you turn. There's still a little bit of movement. But friends, here's the basic building blocks of actually getting your characters to fly. Imagine. Looking very cool. Okay, sweet friends. But now a question you might be asking is, okay, I mean, like, that's cool, bro. Now I can, like, sort of, you know, not fall. But there's more to flying than just not falling. And to that I say, I totally agree, mate. Okay, friends, so now it's time to move up and down while flying without actually falling. So the way that we're going to do this is we're going to start off by getting ourselves a gadget. And we're going to go into logic and processing and get ourselves a combiner. Now we're going to make it so that when we press one button, we're going to move up, and when we press another button, we're going to move down. You could do this with an analog stick. You just have to use a splitter and then sort of attach it like that. But I'm just going to keep it simple, and I'm going to make it R1 moves us up, so we go positive, and R2 moves us down, negative. Now we're going to go into our advanced mover. We're going to go movement strength 100%. Then we're going to go into Y speed, which is of course our up or down movement, and we're going to make it, let's say, 3 meters a second. Alrighty. Then we're going to connect our combiner to Y speed. So now this is connected here. Okay, cool. But you're going to say, mean lad, bro, but how's he going to be moving? How's our puppet going to be moving in the Y-axis? Because we've actually got damping at 100%, which means he wouldn't actually be able to move on the Y-axis. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to go into animate, put down a little keyframe, and we're going to go into advanced mover while recording, and we're going to make dampen Y 99%. Then we're going to rename this keyframe, and we're going to say reduce Y damp. That's fine for now. And we're going to make it so that the output of the combiner connects to this as well. So now what's going to happen is when we press R1 or R2, it's going to make us move on the Y-axis, and at the same time it's going to reduce the Y damping by a very small amount. And by making it just 99 and not like 0, for example, it means we'll be able to move without actually just falling. Okay, sweet. So let's check this out. So we're going to fly mode. When I press R1, yeehaw! And when I press R2, woo! Woo! Now we're going down. So now we can fly around, and we can go up, and we can go down. And when I press circle, yeah. Another cool feature of the on ground feature that I added earlier, because of course when we touch the ground, it'll make us, it'll reset the count. It means that if you lower yourself to the ground, your character will automatically start walking again. Shwang, lower ourselves to the ground, automatically start walking again, which is actually a really useful feature. Okay, friends, so in summary, the advanced mover has Y damping set to 100% so that we don't fall, we don't move on the Y axis. When we press X twice, our counter is set to 2. When we press this twice, it's going to put us into our fly pose. When we press circle, it's going to reduce it to 1 so that we aren't in our fly pose. But if we press X again, we will go back to our fly pose. What is the fly pose? That is our cool little position that we've got over here. It also turns off our running procedural movement over there. Then that makes it so that we don't fall and we get into our cool flying position. In order to move up and down, we've got a combiner here with R1 and R2 connected to the positive and negative values respectively. So in other words, when you press R1, it gives a positive output to the Y speed. When you press R2, it gives a negative value to the Y speed. In other words, up and down. Make sure that you set movement strength to 100%. Make sure also that you set the Y speed before you connect it to the combiner. And in order to actually move without falling, we're going to use the reduce and Y damping keyframe to make the dampen Y 99%. This will allow us a little bit of movement without actually making us fall. Okay, sweet friends, I hope you found this useful and you'll now be flying off into the distance in your dreams. I hope you enjoy it. And yes, friends, catch you on the flip-flop. Peace out. Hey, thanks for watching, friends. I just want to give a massive shout out to my Patreon patrons, or as I like to call them, the Mean Knights. Thank you so much, Tap Giles. Ooh, thanks so much, Tap Sensei. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And Salt Levels Max, my first patron. Ah, ye. Friends, if you want to support your boy and get access to some bonus content, consider becoming a patron. Thanks for watching, friends. Peace out.